So, we are reading from Shrimad Bhagavatam, first canto, 13th chapter. Dhritarashtra quits home, and verse number 41. Narad Uvacha. Ab Narad ji bolenge, and that's why it's beautiful, because when Narad Muni is a pure devotee of the Lord, when he's speaking, it is actually not the message for the Yudhishthir Maharaj, because he's also a pure devotee. It's this message is for us. You know? Narad Uvacha. Ma kanchan shucho rajan yadishwar vansha jagat loka sapala yasyeme vahanti balimishitu संयुनक्ति भूतानि स एव वियुनक्ति च. Translation. Sri Narad said, "O pious king, do not lament for anyone." Because now what's happening is Yudhishthir Maharaj was saying, "Oh my goodness, meri wajah se everybody died. Now my uncle has left. I don't know what to do. I don't know whether he's safe, he's not safe. I have no idea." So Nadma is saying, "Oh pious king, do not lament for anyone. For anyone, for everyone is under the control of Supreme Personality of Godhead, Supreme Lord. Therefore, all living beings and their leaders carry on the worship to be well protected, and it is he only who brings them together and disperse them." What a beautiful verse Narad Muni is saying. And if we can understand, all of us, if we can understand the essence of this particular verse, where it's saying that everybody is under the control of Supreme Lord, you know? So living beings and their leaders, they need to carry on worship to the Lord to be well protected. And गॉड की ही मर्सी से वी कम टुगेदर एंड वी डिस्पर्स अगेन, है ना. हम लोग सब इस आते हैं लाइफ में, मिलते हैं, एंड देन वी go separate ways. It all happens with the mercy of Lord. So anybody who wants to read this purport, please.
I can read, Prabhuji.
Please.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Every living being, either in this material world or in the spiritual world, is under the control of Supreme Lord, the personality of Godhead. Beginning from Brahma Ji, the leader of this universe, down to the insignificant ant, all are abiding by the order of the Supreme Lord. Thus, the constitutional position of living being is subordination under the control of the Lord. The foolish living being, especially man, artificially rebels against the law of Supreme and thus become chastised as an asura or lawbreaker. A living being is placed in a particular position by the order of Supreme Lord, and he is again shifted from that place by the order of Supreme Lord or his authorized agents. Brahma, Shiva, Indra, Chandra, Maharaj Yudhishthira, or in the modern history, Napoleon, Akbar, Alexander, Gandhi, Subhash, and Nehru. All are servants of the Lord, and they are placed in and removed from their respective positions by the supreme will of the Lord. None of them is independent. Even though such men or leader rebel so as not to recognize the supremacy of the Lord, they are put under still more rigorous law of the material world. Where is gone, Prabhu? Rigorous law of the material world by different miseries. Only the foolish man therefore says that there is no God. Maharaj Yudhishthira was being convinced of this naked truth because he was greatly overwhelmed by the sudden departure of his old uncle and aunt. Maharaj Dhritarashtra was placed in that position according to his past deeds. He had already suffered or enjoyed the benefits accrued to him in the past, but due to his good luck, somehow or other, he had a good younger brother, Vidura, and by his instruction, he left to achieve salvation while closing all accounts in the material world. Ordinarily, one cannot change the course of one's due happiness and distress by plan. Everyone has to accept them as they come under the subtle arrangement of Kala or invincible time. There is no use trying to counteract them. The best thing is therefore that one should endeavor to achieve salvation, and this prerogative is given only to man because of his developed condition of mental activities and intelligence. Only for men are there different Vedic instruction for attainment of salvation during the human form of existence. One who misuses this opportunity of advanced intelligence is very condemned and put into different type of miseries, either in this present life or in. Prabhu, can you slide down the
Yeah, yeah.
last? Yeah, either in this present life or in the future. That is the way the Supreme controls everyone. Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Mm. Srila Prabhupada never misses an opportunity to use his whip, because a nature of a guru is guru needs to cut through the grime of our ignorance. Sometimes, have you noticed, sometimes when we wash big pots, like, in temple, sometimes we wash big pots, and they're very greasy. The more greasy and grime, the more grease and grime the pot has, the more we have to work hard. We need to get proper, like, really good gloves, really good, scorcher, and then really good detergent and whatever, and then we'll rub it and so in so that grime that we see on the utensils, it is compared to our ignorance, and it is very hard for us to cut through their ignorance ourselves. So we need an expert person like guru. And here, Narad Muni is one of the captains that we heard in the last verse. And captain means guru. That guru is capable of cutting through this grime of material attachment. So now, at the moment, Yudhishthir Maharaj is really grief stricken. Why? Because he thinks that his uncle is gone, and he's actually crying for his uncle. Now, if you think about it, it is the same uncle who tried to kill, you know, um, um, what do you call it? He's trying to kill
Bhimo. Bhim.
Bhim. Huh? He tried to kill Bhim in front of him. है ना? So that's the same uncle. So this shows that he is compassionate. Now Narad Muni is gonna come and tell him that compassion that you're feeling is actually out of the goodness of you. It's your own goodness because of you feeling this particular, what do you call it? This particular thing that you're feeling is because of your own goodness. If it was anyone else, they would not feel like that. But at the same time, what you're feeling is actually not dharmic. It is not according to scriptures, and that is going to be a very, very strong theme that we will see in there. So what we will do is, just give me 1 second. I'm going to bring another verse which I thought of while I was listening to the purport. Um, it says the first line. Let's break it down from first line forward. You know? So either in this world or in spiritual world, everyone is under control of Supreme Personality of Godhead. And now, if I ask some Bhakti Shastri students here, where does Krishna say in Bhagavad Gita that everybody is in control of God? Can anyone say?
Can you repeat that, Prabhu? What was the question?
My question is, which verse in Bhagavad Gita Krishna says that I control everything?
Mama Maya Durattaya,
Yes, yes. Devi Esha Gunmayi
Devi
Maya
Hesha,
Duratya. Very nice. Devi Esha Gunmayi Maya Duratya. Mameve Papajante
Amekam,
Maya Tarantite.
Mayakam.
Very good. Maya is mine. She is mine. This is that Maya is reporting to me, and she is controlling everyone. Any other words?
Sarvadharman Parityajya, Prabhu.
Very good. Sarv Dharman Pratyaja. Yes, because Sarv Dharman Pratyaja, he's saying that, everything. But I'm talking about specifically where Krishna says that I control. I am controller. अहम सर्वस्य प्रभुवो मत्तः सर्वं प्रवर्तते
Sarva
इति मत्वा.
Pravartate, Iti
ठीक
Matva
है.
Bhajante Mam.
अहम सर्वस्य प्रभुवो. I am everything emanates from me. है ना? And then he says मत्तः परतरम नान्यात्. एक और वर्ड है मत्तः परतरम नान्यात् किंचित किंचित अस्ति जन धनंजय. There is nothing except for me everywhere. है ना? And then mame vansho jeeva loke jeeva bhuta sanatana. Everybody is my part and parcel, you know. And then he says, um, प्रकृते क्रियमाणानि गुणे कर्माणि सर्वशः अहंकार विमूढ़ आत्मा करता अहम तिथि धीमन्ते। कहते हैं भगवान कहते हैं अम, अ, प्रकृति क्रियमाणानि, प्रकृति जो है वो सारी चीजों को संभाल रही है मेरे कहने पे, है ना? लेकिन क्या है, एवरीवन थिंक्स, अहंकार विमूढ़ आत्मा सोचता है आई एम द वन हु करता अहम इति मन्यते। वो क्या सोचता है? आई एम द डूअर। सो इन थ्रू आउट भगवद गीता, थ्रू आउट श्रीमद भागवतम, Krishna keeps on saying that everybody is under my control. And now we will think, hi, how is it possible? If everybody is in Krishna's control, then why there was a bomb blast in Delhi? You know, people can ask. You know, now if you really think about it, when Krishna is controlling everything, what does actually means? What does it mean that Krishna controls everything? Krishna is controlling everything based on what? Krishna is the one who actually says, approves or declines anything. Without the approval of Krishna, nothing can happen. If there are some really bad crime that is happening, it is because Krishna has approved it. That doesn't mean Krishna wanted it. It's like mera beta, he is only 8 years old. So he does what I tell him to do. Once he's 15, 18, 21, you know, he will not do what I want him to do. He will do what he wants to do. I tell him, like for example, you know, I've got a friend who's हमारी university में it was a senior, my senior, and he's got a daughter who is 19 now, daughter 19, and he's like 4 years senior to us, 19 years old daughter. And he was trying to control her all her life, and now she's completely, she said, Dad, I don't want to do anything with you, like, you know, nothing, I don't want to do anything. I am independent person, I want to do whatever I want to do. Now his father, her father is saying, he's crying, he called me, he was crying, he was saying, look, you know, मैंने इतना पाल पोस के बड़ा करा है, and now she's not listening to me. And when he was telling me, and I was thinking in my head, oh my goodness, this is how Krishna must be thinking, feeling. What is he feeling? Krishna is thinking, oh my goodness, I'm trying my best to help this person come back to me, but he or she wants to go away from me. That's how Krishna is feeling, because this guy was crying. And he was not crying because, you know, he's losing her or anything. It's because she's not doing what he wants, and because he knows what is best for her, and she's into bad habits, and she's into bad crowd, and she's going on a very wrong line at the moment. And because of that, he's crying. But she wants to go to Europe. She wanted to go to Europe. I mean, she's now in Europe. Right now she's in Europe. So what happened? Why is he lamenting? Because now he cannot control her free will. He cannot control her free will, but he still has the best intention for her. He allowed her to go to Europe, you know, because he did not want it to interfere in the free will. So Krishna, when Krishna let us go wrong way, that's not his will. That's he sanctions it because he honors our free will. Now, people who actually suffer, they actually suffer from these bad things, that like Delhi blast. You know, I don't know, 7, 8, 9 people, they passed away and stuff. God, you know, please, we'll pray for them, pray for the souls. But at the same time, if you think about it, this is what they were destined to go through at this point of time. However, we cannot use this as a justification for wrongdoing. It is just that Krishna has put those people over there because that's how they were supposed to go away. And this person who had an intention to kill other people, the destiny has joined those two people, those few people together, and one has killed, other people who got killed. Simple. So if I have an intention to kill someone with a knife, if I'm thinking, if I want to, then Krishna will bring someone in front of me who is destined to die with a knife as a murder, because they must have done something in the past, and I kill them. But that does not. But what it is doing is, when I use my free will to kill someone, then I incur that karma physically as well as spiritually. यहाँ पर भी सजा मिलेगी, and plus in the other life as well, it will be against my karma. So Krishna is controlling everyone, but Krishna is not doing everything. Krishna is not doing anything. Krishna is sanctioning things, but that's not what he wants to do. अभी कलिग में जो हो रहा है, that's not what Krishna wants to do, and that's why Krishna has put in these leaders here, like beginning from Brahma ji, leader of the universe, down to the insignificant ant, all are abiding by the order of Supreme Lord. Thus, the constitutional position of living being is subordination or under the control of Lord. I was reading something this morning where so because I like to read some I like to read modern science, how psychology, people are using psychology in order to create a positive difference in people's life and help them live a more fulfilled life. So I was reading, and they were saying that the body, our body, every organ is vibrating in a different frequency. There's a frequency range for every organ, and if the frequency is lower or higher than that particular range, hertz, then what happens is our body, that part gets sick. If somebody has a lung kidney failure, uh, because the kidney are supposed to vibrate between certain hertz to certain hertz. If it's below that, it will get sick. It's above that, it will get sick. Now what happens is, so they have to stay in their limits in order to be healthy. Similarly, that means there is a rule, there's a law in there, in a physical world. Similarly, in the material world, there are certain rules we need to follow, guidelines we need to follow. Krishna has given us some guidelines that we need to follow. If we stay in between those guidelines, then we will be healthy, and if we go above or below, then we will be sick. Now sickness in here, it means that we actually forget the position, our real position, and that's why we call it a disorder. There is a disorder where someone thinks that they are 5-year old when they are 21, 23 years old, but they feel that they are 5-year old. They behave like a 5-year old. Why they are behaving like a 5-year old? Because the vibrations that they have is actually is vibrating in a same manner as a 5-year old body's 5-year old child's body vibrates. And because of that, that disorder is only because it's vibrating below the certain safe guidelines. Similarly, when we so as soon as we change the vibration, as soon as that person or whoever that person is, if they somehow get treated and find out, or they actually grow, or they actually learn the skills and they start growing, then what will happen is, slowly and gradually they will start behaving like a 5-year old, 7-year old, 10-year old, 12-year old, 15-year old, and maybe not go further than that, but there is a growth because they are trying their best. Now, in our life as well, if we are not, if we don't understand that we are part and parcel of Krishna, we are servant of Krishna. If we don't accept our subordination, what happens is we are sick. है ना? And when we are sick, who are sick? The foolish people. And look, especially man. That doesn't mean, and he's not talking. Srila Prabhupada is not talking about gender, by the way. He's talking about human beings. When he says the foolish living beings, especially human beings, artificially rebels against the law of supreme, and thus becomes chastised as an asura or lawbreaker. वैसे ये propensity सबसे ज्यादा मेल में होती है ना, to break the law, and because of their own testosterone, and so because we don't want to accept our subordination, हम लोगों ने last class में क्या देखा था? Last class में we discussed this. Acceptance is the key. If we accept, अगर हम लोग हमारे पड़ोसी की तरक्की को accept कर लेते हैं, तो हमारा वो पड़ोसी हमारे लिए इंस्पिरेशन बन जाता है. अगर हम हमारे पड़ोसी की तरक्की को नहीं एक्सेप्ट कर पाते हैं, तब हमारे लिए वो एनवियस हमारे अंदर वो एनवी हो जाती है, एंड देन वी बिकम सैड एंड वी ट्राई एंड हार्म देम, यू नो, और ट्राई एंड डू समथिंग नॉट लीगली करेक्ट इन ऑर्डर टू सरपास देम, है ना। सो अगर हम एक्सेप्ट करते हैं तो इट बिकम्स इंस्पिरेशन, नहीं एक्सेप्ट करते हैं बिकम्स जेलसी एंड एंगर एंड envy and all those sort of things. फिर हमने देखा था अगर बंजी जंपिंग है, बंजी जंपिंग when someone jumps from the, if they accept that they're going to jump from a 20th floor, then it becomes an adventure. If they don't accept it, it becomes a nightmare, you know. एंड इसी तरीके से लाइफ में भी अगर हम लोग एक्सेप्ट कर लें वट एवर हैज बीन सर्व्ड टू अस, यू नो, हाँ हमारे पेरेंट्स जो हमें मिले हैं वी कांट चेंज, है ना। वी, हम लोगों को अभी वट एवर सिचुएशन वी आर इन वी कांट चेंज दैट, यू नो। व्हाट कैन बी चेंज इज हाउ वी लुक एट इट, है ना। इफ वी एक्सेप्ट इट, बाहर बारिश हो रही है, बहुत तेज बारिश हो रही है ना। इफ यू डोंट एक्सेप्ट इट वी विल बी सैड। इफ वी एक्सेप्ट इट तो से ओके बारिश हो रही है क्या करना है, अच्छा लेट्स गेट अ अम्ब्रेला, है ना, रेन कोट पहन लेता हूँ। सो you can't change barish, but you can change what how the barish is impacting you, how the rain is impacting you can change. And this morning when I was reading that article, उसमें एक बड़ा अच्छा वो लिखा था, psychologically if you think about it there are two kind, he was talking about sales psychology, and it says एक सेल्समैन को पता चलता है, वो ही गेट्स अप इन द मॉर्निंग एंड इट वाज स्टॉर्मी, लाइक बहुत तूफान आ रहा है बाहर, एंड ही वाज लाइक ओ माय गुडनेस, तो तूफान आ रहा है, आज तो मैं कुछ भी नहीं बेच पाऊंगा, पूरा दिन खराब हो गया, यू नो। सो यू नो इतना तूफान हो रहा है तो आई विल सिट एट होम बिकॉज आई कांट सेल एनीथिंग, है ना। दैट्स हु, दैट्स क्या बोलते हैं, एक सिंह कोई फोन आ रहा है मेरा। हाँ तो सॉरी, हंग अप। सो वो कहता है कि हाँ स्टॉर्म आ रहा है तो मैं नहीं जा पाऊंगा आज, एंड ही गेट्स रियली मोरोस, है ना। सेम थिंग, उसके उसके 10 घर छोड़ के एक और सेल्स पर्सन रहता है, बहुत वो उठता है एंड ही सी ओ माय गुडनेस तूफान आ रहा है, थैंक यू लॉर्ड, क्योंकि तूफान इतना ज्यादा है, देयर विल बी नॉट इवन वन सेल्समैन ऑन द रोड, so if I go, I'll get all the customers. So what happened is, दोनों लोगों के लिए rain is there, but one is looking at the same storm differently, है ना। And that happens because he has accepted that it is storm. I can't do anything about it. So he just like, oh no, you know what? I'm gonna be the only salesperson, so I can make more sales. And why does it happen? Because of he understood that I am not the Lord. Mera subordination hai, that means I cannot change what I have been served. And that is why it's called, this subordination is not meekness. This subordination is called strength. We will talk about that in a second. Eh? So Srila Prabhupada यहाँ कह रहे हैं, a living being is placed in a particular position or an order of Supreme Lord, and he is again shifted from that place by another order of Supreme Lord or his organizations. And then he says Brahma, Shiva, Indra, Chandra, Maharaj Yudhishthir, modern history, Napoleon, Akbar, Alexander, all of these, they are all servants of the Lord. They were placed as a leader and they're removed. You know, there was a one day Srila Prabhupada was giving a lecture in Paris. He says, Napoleon used to say, Napoleon is France, you know, and France is Napoleon. Napoleon is, sorry, Paris. Napoleon is France, France is Napoleon. And Srila Prabhupada said, France is here. Where is Napoleon? You know? And people thought, what is he saying? He was making an incredible point saying that nothing stays, guys. हम लोग जिस चीज को इतना बड़ा बना देते हैं अपनी जिंदगी में, nothing is constant, everything is flickering. And if we understand that, we will accept our position and then we will start working on it. Accepting our position का मतलब ये नहीं कि वहीं रह जाना है. Accepting our position so that we can get understanding of, we can actually look at the situation in a different manner, and then we will start working towards it. And the idea is not to give up at any point, because acceptance is the first key. And what is, as soon as you accept it, if that acceptance can give you inspiration, then that accepting is good, है ना। और उसके बाद न हाँ, तो अब यहाँ पे शिला प्रभुपाद कह रहे हैं कि none of them are independent. कोई भी इंडिपेंडेंट नहीं है, सब लोग बने राजा और निकल गए। हम लोग भी जिस भी पोजीशन में हैं, दैट्स नॉट आवर परमानेंट पोजीशन। व्हाट इज आवर परमानेंट पोजीशन? कैन एनीवन टेल मी? व्हाट इज आवर परमानेंट, व्हाट इज आवर एक्चुअल पोजीशन? हमारी कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल पोजीशन क्या है?
Servant of the servant of the servant of the servant.
यस, जीवे रे स्वरूप होए कृष्ण रे नित्य दास, दास 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 अनुदास। दैट इज आवर पोजीशन, है ना? If we accept that as our position, you know what happens? We will get so much of inspiration, because हम लोगों को सबको पता है, जब हम लोग सेवा करते हैं ना, सबसे ज्यादा सेटिस्फेक्शन सेवा में है। हम लोग कितनी नौकरी, कितनी सारी नौकरी करते हैं, कितने सारे पैसे कमाते हैं, कितनी कितनी मेहनत करते हैं, लेकिन उसमें इतना सुकून नहीं मिलता जितना हम किसी की सेवा करने में मिल जाता है हमें। आई वाज टॉकिंग टू समवन, मंदिर में हम लोग जब खिचड़ी बनाते हैं सुबह, 2 घंटा, 1 डेढ़ 2 घंटा लग जाता है। उस खिचड़ी को बनाने में जो मजा आता है, जो सुकून मिलता है, थक जाते हैं, बॉडी इज टायर्ड, बट इतना ज्यादा सुकून मिलता है कि वी कैन कंटिन्यू डूइंग दैट। फिर उसके बाद हम लोग ऑफिस भी चले जाते हैं। द डे आई यूज टू डू दैट सेवा, वो यूज टू बी माई बेस्ट डे of the week, because you feel so nourished. What is that nourishment? Because I accepted my position as a servant. So what I'm doing is I'm doing serving, and when you do serving, you become elevated. So even though such men or leaders rebel as to not recognize the supremacy of Lord, जैसे मोहम्मद ये जो थे ना, मोहम्मद गजनी और ये सारे के सारे थे, they were like really, they thought that they own everything, है ना, है ना? And then what they do is, they, even though such men, they are put under still more rigorous law of material world by different miseries. Now शाहजहां ने क्या करा था? मोहम्मद गौरी को उसके बेटे ने ही मार दिया उसको, है ना? मोहम्मद गौरी को लगा कि मैंने सब कुछ जीत लिया, ये कर दिया, वो कर दिया, आई एम द किंग ऑफ द किंग ऑफ द किंग। हिज सन केम एंड किल्ड हिम। कैसे मारा? उसका सिर काट दिया। रुचिता माता जी, यू हैव अ क्वेश्चन?
Yes, Prabhuji, Hare Krishna. प्रभु जी, आई वाज जस्ट
हरे कृष्ण।
कॉन्टेम्पलेटिंग, आप बोल रहे हो कि जैसे टेम्पल में हम सर्विस करते हैं, बहुत एक अलग सुकून मिलता है। डेफिनेटली वेन एवर वी
हम्म।
आर टूवर्ड्स, लाइक कभी हम डिवोटीज को सर्व करें या कृष्णा के लिए कुछ करते हैं, इट्स अ डिफरेंट प्लेजर। But how can we
हम्म।
actually incorporate that feeling wherever we are? Like, हम किसी भी नॉन डिवोटी के साथ हैं, या हम ऐसी जगह है
हम्म।
जो मंदिर नहीं है, बट फिर भी दैट
Brilliant.
एटीट्यूड और फीलिंग इज देयर नो मैटर वेर यू आर। हाउ कैन वी, लाइक, व्हाट इज इट दैट
Beautiful.
brings us to that position?
Beautiful. What a beautiful question. Because this is the purpose of what माता जी आपने क्वेश्चन पूछा ना, दिस इज द पर्पस ऑफ भक्ति। जो हम लोग भक्ति कर रहे हैं, भागवतम सुन रहे हैं, चैंटिंग कर रहे हैं, एक्चुअली ऑल ऑफ दीज थिंग्स, दे नीड टू लीड अस टू अ पॉइंट वेयर we can we can feel the same pleasure that we feel in the temple serving, same pleasure when we are actually serving a non-devotee, even our enemy, you know. And that's where we have to get to. It's very, very hard, but how do we get to that? It is by two things. One is अज्ञान का जो तिमिर है, अज्ञान का जो अंधकार है, उससे बाहर निकल के। और दूसरा दूसरा सिंपल सी चीज है, one of the things that will really help is contemplate on this point that Krishna, if we have an issue with someone, like for example, if someone is a non-devotee and they are indulging in a non-devotional activities, you have, when you're looking at them, you should always look at them and think, look, Krishna loves him or her as much as he loves me, you know. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pray for this person. So when, like for example, today I went to work, and um these guys got some beers. They were drinking beer ना, टेबल पे, अपनी टेबल पे बैठ के they were drinking beer. And I was thinking in my, पहले पहले मेरे दिमाग में आया, what idiots, like, what idiots, what are they doing, like, I mean, anyway. And then instantly I had to change my mindset and say, you know what, these guys at least let me, कैन यू इमेजिन, मेरे ऑफिस में होता हूँ, सुबह 10:45 से लगा के 11:15 tak I do a Bhagavatam class with my parent, with mom and my sister, my brothers. They all come and we do every day half an hour, है ना? आप सोचो, these guys are sitting and doing, they don't talk and they take phone calls outside. They're sitting down doing their work, but they don't disturb me. They respect that. मैं जाके वो अगरबत्ती जलाता हूँ and all those, and they respect that, and they make sure that I'm not disturbed and things like that. So I was thinking in my head, man, these guys, no matter who they are, whatever they are doing, they are part and parcel of God. So आज मैं उनके लिए प्रसादम लेके गया था, and I was giving them prasadam. I was not thinking that these people are blessed. I was thinking, I am so blessed that I get to serve these guys. These guys are the people of Lord. God loves them as much as He loves me. It was artificial, I can tell you. I wasn't feeling very, very, warm in my heart. I'll be honest, but I was very happy because I try to change that. Mataji, this is the only way, because क्या होता है कि our judgmental, there has to be discrimination. There is a difference between discrimination and judgment. We need to be discriminative of, to understand what is what. But remember, we need to look at people. We have to try and force ourselves to look at people, their good qualities. They might have at least one quality that we don't have. you know they might be in a very deep dark well of ignorance, but they might have one good quality that we don't have. Or even if they don't have any quality, they have one quality, which is what? Krishna resides in them exactly the way he resides in me. That is their quality, and for that we should respect them. Richa Mataji.
So Prabhu ji, sorry. मतलब ultimate यही है कि we should see good in every situation and every person that we have in our lives and
That's
ignore
correct.
anything which is not conducive.
And we should not focus too much on the negative. We should have be discriminate. ऐसा भी नहीं है कि Srila Prabhupada used to say कि आप शेर को खाना खिलाने के लिए हाथ से नहीं खिला सकते हो आप शेर को खाना. You can have be compassionate with शेर, lion, but you need to keep safe distance. Similarly, if there are people whose association can spoil our bhakti, then we have to be a little distant, but we should in our head we should pray for them. We should love them. We should try and respect them. We should always try and be non-judgmental, and and try and look for something good in them. And हम लोग ने last class में करा था ना, whatever you're looking for, you will find it. If you
Hmm.
look for good, you will find good. So very good question, Mataji. Maybe I'm trying to learn as well. I'm not there. I don't know. One day, hopefully, Krishna willing, we will be on that place where we can actually Pandita Samadarshina. We can see everyone Samdarshina. It will become Pandit, learned. So we can become so learned that we can treat everyone equally. You know, whether it's
Mhm.
animal, plants, and all. The Srila Prabhupada used to be like that. He used to treat everyone same. He will bend down and you know plant ko bhi aise सहलाएंगे, so that as if it's a person, like, which
Hmm.
which which they are. So we have to cultivate that, but it's not easy. Kaliyug hai. But if we keep reminding us every day, every now and then, if we hang out with people who are like that, then we will develop it. And if we keep reminding each other, Mataji, we will be able to get there.
Yes,
you know
Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Prabhu.
Mataji. Thank you, Mataji. Richa Mataji.
Prabhu, I was on the same lines basically. Yes, it's right. It's very difficult to not judge people, and but you're
Mm,
right. There is always something good in each person. But Prabhu,
mm,
उस पे focus लेकर आना, like you took an effort to even cook prashadam, and when you were cooking prashadam, you obviously had that feeling in
mm,
your mind. So,
mm,
Prabhu, how do you like really try and bring that forward and continue to put the odd piece of their character or anything behind? Like, how do you really, I mean, fake it till you make it, Wali, I get that point, but
mm.
it's not as straightforward, right? It's like कहीं
No,
ना
it's
कहीं हमें
not.
लगता है
It's not.
कि you better, because you don't align with their mindset or thought process,
That's
you
correct. Mm,
better digress and go into the direction where you feel the right kind of
that's correct.
community and connection.
That's
So,
correct. How do I do it? Um, I heard something today. I don't know whether you know. There is this लाल गोविंद प्रभु के बारे में सुना आप लोगों ने? Do you know who Lal
Yes,
Govind Prabhu
Prabhu.
is?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Prabhu, I
The
think I've
person who is
heard from
coming.
your name only.
Yeah. So he's coming. He's coming in 29th and 30th, 28th, 29th and 30th. He's doing Katha, Bhagavatam Katha in Western suburb. So I listened to one of his lectures, and he was saying something amazing. He said that when you see someone, jo I was like, and you in your head I was like, kitna fallen hai na ye? How fallen is this person? Like this kind of, he used that word. He said, imagine you see someone and say, oh my goodness, how fallen it is. He said you should remember something. He may look like he has fallen, but understand that he must have fallen from 15th floor and he landed on 10th. So he has fallen from 15th to 10th, but you need to understand you are still at ground. You haven't reached the 15. So you haven't reached the 10. So जहां पर वो आके गिरा है ना, वहां तक भी आप नहीं हो. Now this is very easy to do with devotees. Like there are some, like, because हम लोगों को ये सिखाया जाता है कि devotees को especially हम, क्योंकि devotees, they are trying their best to become a good devotee. Everyone, nobody gets up in the morning and say, you know what, let's see today how can I not become a devotee, let me do some sinful activities. No one wakes up like this, but somehow or other, because of our conditioning, we end up doing something stupid, something silly, and we make fool of ourselves. Now, all of so when we look at a devotee who is falling down, or he's doing something which are not, हम लोगों को पता है कि we should not do these things, like my brother, like my brother in India, he smokes, but he's still my brother. क्या, just because he smokes, क्या मेरे लिए, मेरे मन में उसके लिए इज्जत कम हो गई है? Nothing. Zero. I still love him. Like, love him, love him, love him. Then why is someone else smoking? I can't love that person just because he's not my blood relation. Krishna has the same relation with him than me, or her and me. Then how am I? So what I do is, I since since I did the course in Art of Living, I do one thing. You have to accept people. Yeah, we have to accept the people how they are, the way they are. अब जैसे मेरी वाइफ है ना, वो ड्रॉर खोलेगी ऐसे, है ना, और पूरा बंद नहीं करेगी, आधा बंद करेगी. I used to get so frustrated. मतलब how does it take, like, who leaves half a, आधी ड्रॉर कौन बंद करके रखता है? किचन में तो ठीक है, लेकिन अपने कमरे में, है ना, who does it? No one does it. I'm like, I mean, कितना टाइम लगता है यार, तुम थोड़ा सा आगे पुश कर दो, क्या प्रॉब्लम है? मतलब मेरे को अनॉय करने के लिए करते हो क्या तुम? I mean, and we had a lot of fight on that. And simple. Then one day, I did Art of Living course, and I went home, and our teacher said, you accept people who they are. And you know what I started doing? Every time I am pushing the drawer back in, I would repeat in my head, I love you, Roxy. I love my wife. I love my wife. I love my wife. And trust me, within 5 days or 6 days, I had no issues after that with her leaving the drawer open, because I accepted the way she is. I tried my best. Sam, dam, dand, bhed, sab istemal kar liya, nothing worked. And guess what? Now you come to my house, no drawers are half open. Somehow or other, she changed. I could not change it. She changed because the way I looked at her changed. That that intention of me has changed the way the other person is behaving. Srila Prabhupada was so amazing because of his intentions. He changed the way people started taking other stuff, completely changed the way people look at it. So it is just a matter of practice. If we start accepting the people who they are, and if they are not conducive to our bhakti, we don't have to insult them. We don't have to think bad of them. You just go somewhere else. है ना? And you can help them. If you think that no, I can't help them, then you walk away, because the first rule of bhakti is first put mask on yourself and then you go and help people, है ना? हम लोग खुद ही डूब रहे हैं, हम किसी को क्या बचाएंगे, है ना? So what we need to do is we need to um, that non judgment is a very difficult thing. मैंने एक I'll make this last point, and I think, what's the time now? Oh my goodness, I don't even. Oh, time is up. I'll make the last point and then we'll close. The last point is Vraj Bihari Prabhu ki मैं class सुन रहा था, and he said there is a very good there is a very good way of um, understanding whether we are judging or whether we are observing. There are two different things. Judgment and observation is two different things. So observation is you look at the thing without any emotion attached to it or any story behind it. For example, if you see a lady in sari, holding a hand of a little boy and crossing the road, you look at that lady and you're observing it. So you have to think in your head, what are you observing? So you're saying there is a mother holding a hand of a son, but that's a judgment. Observation kya hai? There is a lady in sari holding a hand of a boy hand. That's it. Auntie bhi to ho sakti hai. Any assumption, you delete assumptions, your assumptions from what you can observe, then it becomes, if you attach your own opinion, then it becomes a judgment. So he says the way you can actually observe is every few days, what you do is you sit on a bench park or wherever you watch people going, or you're sitting on a train, you look at people and observe and tell yourself, who is this? Or this person is a male, female, sitting there reading, contemplating, thinking without your opinion, that is called observation. As soon as you say, oh my goodness, this person looks angry, he must have apni बीवी से लड़के आया होगा. That is an opinion. That is a judgment. So there is a practice you can do, and slowly and gradually you will be able to pick yourself in not judging. It's very hard. I'm not saying that I've mastered it. I still judge, but I try and not let my judgment, uh, you know, pollute my thoughts about that person. My judgment, I don't let my judgment pollute the interaction or that I'm gonna have with that person. I try, but sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But it's just we are all in work in progress. But idea is for us to get to a place where we can look at everyone and all we can feel is love. It's a long way, but that's what Srila Prabhupada used to do. He used to look at people and all he would feel is love. And that's why he was able to give so much of love and so much of transformation. I remember one thing, guys. Transformation can only happen through love. बहुत सारे राजा महाराजा आए हैं, बहुत सारे उन्होंने लोगों को सजाएं दी हैं, लेकिन ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन वो कर पाया है जिसने सिर्फ प्यार दिया. People who have given love, only those leaders were most successful. ऐसे तो Napoleon और ये सारे, all of these people, they were like very powerful. Roman Empire was powerful, but because of lack of love, transformation was very little. So we need to love. The purpose of our bhakti is to understand the love that we have lost for Krishna, and in that process, we will find the love that we have for everyone, including each other. And that is the main purpose of bhakti. And if we are not feeling that, then we are not feeling that doesn't mean this process is not working. That just means that our infection is a little bit too much. And that infection, if you keep taking antibiotics, some antibiotic dosages are only for 1 day, some are 3 days, some are 5 days, some are 7 days, some are drips. So we can say, look, keep doing the process, keep taking the medicine. One day, as soon as the infection is gone, we will be able to feel that love. We see that in glimpse every now and then, but there will be a time where we'll be able to feel love for everyone. you know I think we will stop here and We'll see if there are any other questions, comments, or anything anybody wants to raise or share based on what we discussed today. I'm so sorry, guys. I was late. First of all, because I didn't know I was doing the class. Second, I wasn't prepared. Sorry for that, but I
Thank you,
hope
Prabhu,
this.
for the class.
अगर ये
Does
अनप्रिपेयर्ड क्लास है प्रभु तो रोज ऐसे ही आया करो
ठीक है, मैं
it?
प्रिपरेशन बंद कर दूं?
नो 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 उसका हम लोग को उतना लगेगा
ना ना, रिचा माता जी, आप कुछ बोल रहे थे?
नहीं कुछ नहीं प्रभु
अरे
ये क्लास वाज स्टिल वेरी गुड प्रभु आई फील बट आपके जो लास्ट पॉइंट था ऑन गिविंग लव एंड it's a very difficult line to maintain
Hmm.
prabhu because sometimes when you give even go with that perspective and
Hmm.
attitude that you just want to give love people will come and take it and sometimes they will actually uh, you know they really can cause you the more damage for even just
Yeah,
giving
yeah,
that.
yeah. That is true.
So it's
That
very
is
difficult. How do you maintain that
that's a
boundary?
good point. Yes, yes, Richa Mataji. This is a very good point because this, if I don't, thank you for reminding me because if I don't touch on this point, then the whole thing that I spoke about is not complete. Now, giving love does not mean become a person who is giving and giving, other people are taking and taking, and you getting depleted. No, we need to give love, not at the cost of losing who we are. For example, and it can only happen when we are not, we need to be careful as well. But when I say love, I don't really mean that we should start doing things for people out of love. I actually genuinely feel that love doesn't necessarily have to mean that we need to start going and revolutionizing their lives, or giving them so much in their giving them so much of our time and all those sort of things. That's not the only love that I'm talking about. I'm talking about love. The first love that we have to do, that Krishna actually asks us to do, is called self love. You know? And the reason why we don't really talk about self love as much is because as a human being, we are designed, we are actually are very selfish. We are very selfish. So अगर हम लोग self love के बारे में बोलेंगे, then people will start only talking about themselves. मैं ही पढ़ लेता हूँ भागवतम घर पे, किसी को नहीं प्रीच करूंगा, किसी को नहीं बताऊंगा, चुपके चुपके से भक्ति शास्त्री कर लूंगा, है ना? That kind of stuff. So
तो मुझे वो एरोगेंस भी आ जाएगा ना कि हम सिर्फ सेल्फ लव करते
arrogance.
हैं
Exactly.
Yes.
So that's why self-love is, but self-love is one of the most critical thing. And Richa Mataji, what you have asked is a brilliant question, because self-love is the first thing. Put your mask on yourself first, and then you go and start distributing love yourself so much. Unless and until we have filled our heart with our own love for ourselves, we are unable to give that love out to anyone, because guess what, the love that we are trying to distribute initially comes from ourselves only. This is the love that we have for ourselves that overflows to go to others. If I am deprived of my self love, then when I start giving love, what happens is I'm not overflowing. I'm already giving all the energy to everyone else. Then I'm left with nothing. And then what happens is I might lose the intention to help anyone. And guess what? As soon as I lose the intention of help anyone, then I cannot have self love, because I will start thinking, oh my goodness, I can't love anyone. That means there's something wrong with me. That means I am lacking self love. So my heart will have no love in it for myself, let alone giving it to others. And that's where it becomes very dangerous. People go into depression, people go into self harm and a lot of other stuff. So the most important aspect that we need to understand, and I'm very grateful that you raised that point, because otherwise people will start thinking that I am here to become the football of everybody's opinion. I'm here to please everyone. I'm here to serve everyone at any cost. No, no, no. We are here to serve, but before we serve, we need to become capable and strong enough to be able to serve in an optimum manner, to in a manner that will create transformation in others and us. And for that, the first thing we have to do is we have to have a very amazing self love. And we need to second, so this is the first point, self love is extremely important. There are a lot of things we can, well, I've spoken about this in our previous classes as well about self love. And the second thing is very important is we have to understand that once we are self love, when we are self love, we have to make sure 100%, we have to make sure that nobody is taking advantage of us. Nobody is taking advantage of us. And we have to have a very strong boundaries that Richa Mataji touched on. Boundaries hona bahut zaruri hai. I can tell you right now, I have one person that has a capacity uh, to annoy me. You know, there is one person. And so what I do is I don't completely avoid that person, but I don't spend too much time with that person. But every time I'm there, I'm protecting myself first, and then I'm praying for that guy. Does it make sense? So now remember, we need to have boundaries. I can somebody एक पर्सन है जो मेरी बोट में छेद करने के लिए बैठा हुआ है ना? तो मैं उसको अपनी बोट में नहीं बिठा सकता, बिकॉज मेरी बोट में और भी बहुत सारे लोग बैठे हैं. आई एम ट्राइंग टू प्रोटेक्ट पीपल. इफ देर इज वन पर्सन हु इज नॉट कमिंग टू माई बोट, अगर कोई ऐसा पर्सन मेरी बोट में आता है जो मेरी बोट को ही छेद करके गिरा देगा, देन आई हैव टू गेट हिम आउट ऑफ माई बोट in order to save myself and save the others. है ना? So that is called boundaries, creating boundaries, and those boundaries are very important, and we should not be ashamed of having those boundaries. But we cannot use those boundaries in the garb of boundaries just to attack people as well, just to alienate people, or groupism kar lo ki, I don't want you in my group because this is how I feel in front of you. Don't use that, but protect yourself first and have very clear boundaries. So I have had a discussion with that person. I have told him, you know what, I can't be with a. I had a discussion that it is better for us that when we are together, we only talk about certain things, productivity or whatever it is, and apart from that, you go your way, I go my way. We still handshake and hug, and that's it. But there is no. I don't make any endeavors, and neither does that person. So that is a boundary that I have created for myself, because I want to be with him for me to grow, but I cannot be with him too much of time, because then I deplete all my energy that I'm able to give other people. And that is why what I do is I have that boundary. So first important aspect is having self love, and second, having boundaries. None of these things is easy, by the way. It is not, there is no cookie cutter solution for this कि भैया ये कर लो. It is not like x a square plus b square plus 2ab is equal to a plus b whole square. There is no formula for it. But if we know the if we know if we work on our intention, and if we work on our dedication to become a better person on every single day, to be able to face more things than we faced yesterday, then the only way we can do it is have a very strong self love, and very strong sadhana in the sense, we need to do yoga pranayam. Because when you do yoga pranayam, you do anulom vilom, you do bhastrika, that breathing exercise. What happens, we actually increase our prana so much कि somebody else, so हमारा हमारा जो heart है full हो जाता है. When somebody comes, they cannot dip into our, they can just take the excess for them, है ना? क्योंकि हमारा प्राणा हाई है. And you have noticed जब हम when we are getting annoyed, that means that time our prana is very low. So when you do anulom vilom, for example, sometimes when I'm meeting this guy, honestly, in the car I do anulom vilom for 5 minutes, because then I understand कि मेरे को क्या करना है. I need to align myself to make sure that I'm not getting annoyed, and I'm in a very good high prana, so I can help him and I don't deplete my own energy as well. है ना? So these are the few things that I do personally, but there is no kutik, no specific way. There is no formula for this. Intention अपना अच्छा रखो, साधना अच्छा रखो. If you are doing kriya, sadhana, meditation, and these kind of stuff, then you will have a lot of prana, and then you will be able to give more and without depleting your own energy. But always remember, we are not here to sacrifice ourselves. कई लोग कहते हैं ना, um, there was this guy who says, हम तो आर्मी में मरने के लिए पैदा हुए हैं. तो एक पर्सन बोलता है, उनका बॉस बोलता है, नहीं तुम मरने के लिए नहीं पैदा हुआ है, तुम मारने के लिए पैदा हुआ है. तुम मर जाओगे तो क्या फायदा. यू हैव टू, अगर मरना है ना तो 10 को लेके मरना. सो व्हाट आई मेंट वाज, अगर हम लोगों को लोगों की हेल्प करनी है ना, वी नीड टू बी सुदृढ़, वी नीड टू प्रोटेक्ट आवर सेल्फ फर्स्ट. इफ यू आर नॉट एबल टू प्रोटेक्ट आवर सेल्फ, देन everything else is not going, nothing else will work. So hope that makes sense, Richa Mataji. I'm so sorry, but
Yes, Prabhu.
I
Nahin,
couldn't
that,
give
that
you
definitely.
specific, but I can only share what I've done.
Yes, Prabhu. It is. Thank you. Thank you so much.
And
Hello?
Prabhuji also मतलब उसको हमें जैसे आप बोल रहे थे ना कि बंदा जो आपकी नाव में छेद कर रहा है तो उसको हम अगर मान लीजिए किसी और की बोट में भी होल कर रहा है तो हम हमारा ये भी ड्यूटी नहीं है ना कि उसको जाके हम ज्ञान दें या उसको समझाएं. वी शुड प्रे ओनली ना. हम
We
किसी को सुधार भी तो नहीं सकते मान लीजिए.
yeah, there is an
तो हमें
old
उसमें भी
saying.
अपनी एनर्जी वेस्ट नहीं करनी चाहिए, राइट. हाँ.
There is an old saying, never underestimate the power to change yourself, and never overestimate estimate the power to change others. Never. So we can only control ourselves. We can pray, and if we can actually provide guidance in a very intelligent manner. I've done that. Somebody else's boat was, uske boat में कोई बंदा था. So I actually had to speak to the person who was the in charge of that boat to say, you know what, this person, I मेरा उसके साथ 36 का आंकड़ा है. Can you talk to him and give him some guidance? And because he might be more conducive to your leadership, and it worked. So at that time it worked. So we don't have to interfere, but if we can intelligently do something, do it, but not at the cost of losing any of your people or you. If that makes sense.
Yes.
Richa Mataji, does it make sense, or I
Yes,
mean, I don't
Prabhu.
know.
Are you able to hear me?
Yeah. Now I
Yeah,
can hear you.
okay. Sorry. Yes, sir, Prabhu. I said, yes, thank you so much. No, it does make sense, Prabhu. But yes, you're right. You kind of lose yourself, and I've experienced it firsthand.
Yeah,
That जो आप बता रहे हो ना, जो the person that you're talking about, it's you start losing your own energy, and your
that's
energy changes altogether
that's correct.
because of whatever experiences and stuff. But yes, yeah, learned the hard way, but again, still learning. ठीक है, Prabhu. Thank you so much.
One thing I would suggest is Kriya every single day.
Yeah, Prabhu. Trying.
I'm telling you lot of things, like 80% of your game will change if you do pranayam, yoga, and Kriya. And this is not talking out of book. I'm talking out of what I felt myself. You know. So
Sure, Prabhu.
प्रभु, इस डिस्कशन से एक बात और दिमाग में आ रही थी, जो अभी आपने सेल्फ लव का और ये सब बताया है ना, कि हमें दूसरों को लव देना है और मतलब
mhm,
अपने आप को भी सेक्रीफाइस नहीं करना है. तो जस्ट ऐसे ही मेरे मन में थॉट आ रहा था पांडवास का, कि उन्होंने तो बहुत टॉर्चर सहन किया और
mhm,
उन्होंने तो ऑलमोस्ट एक्चुअली अपने आप को सेक्रीफाइस ही किया ना प्रभु. उनको पता था दुर्योधन के इंटेंशन क्या है. तो इज इट
mhm.
डिपेंडिंग ऑन द टाइम, इम्पैक्ट ऑफ दैट
उन्होंने the
एज?
yeah, because what happens is, no, actually, very good point. Because what happens is, if you read Mahabharat, every time something has happened, something Duryodhan and Kauravas have done some, atrocities on Pandavas got angry and they were ready to take revenge all the time. Krishna was the one who said, look, just wait, just relax, chill out, you know, तुम्हारा भी समय आएगा. And that's the reason why Pandavas did not do something, but um, उन्होंने चुपचाप बैठ के कुछ सहा है, दैट्स नॉट ट्रू, बिकॉज दे वर रेडी टू पाउंस, है ना। अम, कृष्णा ने क्योंकि, और लेकिन वो बिकॉज दे वर प्योर डिवोटीज, दे अंडरस्टूड द हायर प्रिंसिपल। उनको समझ में आया कृष्णा नोज व्हाट ही इज डूइंग, सो विल जस्ट फॉलो हिम, यू नो। जैसे मैं बता रहा था ना कि मेरा बेटा मेरे साथ रोड पे था, एंड देन एज सुन एज एक बड़ा सा डॉग आया, वो मैं बहुत आगे चल रहा था मेरे से, एंड देन जैसे ही डॉग आया वो मेरे पीछे आ गया एकदम से भाग के। लेकिन जब उसने मेरा हाथ पकड़ लिया, मेरे पीछे आ गया, तो कुत्ता जब पाँच में से निकल रहा था, डॉग उसको लात मार रहा था, लात मारने की कोशिश कर रहा था। मतलब कैन यू इमेजिन, बिकॉज ही वॉज व्हाट वाज हिज स्ट्रेंथ, हिज स्ट्रेंथ वाज आई एम विद माई फादर, मैं अपने पिताजी के साथ हूं, मेरा कोई कुछ नहीं कर सकता। दैट इंडिस्पेंसिबिलिटी जो थी, दैट वी हैव टू फील फॉर कृष्णा। या कृष्णा मेरे साथ है, व्हाट एम आई स्केर्ड ऑफ? एंड दैट्स व्हाट पांडवास वर फीलिंग, लाइक डोंट वरी, यू नो, कृष्णा इज विद अस, he's with us, he's telling us not to do anything, there must be something, and that was their confidence. हमारा कॉन्फिडेंस किस पे है, दैट इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट, वी नीड टू अंडरस्टैंड दैट आवर कॉन्फिडेंस शुड बी इन ऑन कृष्णा। हमारा जितना ज्यादा कॉन्फिडेंस कृष्णा पे होगा ना, उतना हमारे पास फियरलेसनेस आने लग जाएगा। सो यू आर राइट ऋचा माता जी, बट
नहीं, दैट्स ट्रू प्रभु। मतलब मेरे को
हाँ,
ये फिर क्लियर नहीं था, आई थिंक क्लियर मैसेज, क्योंकि वो मूवीज में और उसमें सीरियल में कुछ आधी
हाँ, कुछ
अधूरी
ऐसे दिखाते
इंफॉर्मेशन
हैं।
दिखाते हैं। तो आई
हाँ,
वाज ऑलवेज फील कि क्यों उन्होंने इतना मतलब
हाँ,
टॉर्चर सहन किया ना, कि इट इज आल्सो नॉट राइट
no,
कि
it's not.
डिवोटी
We should
बीइंग अ
not. We
डिवोटी
should not
डजंट
imitate
मीन।
them. No, we should not
हाँ
imitate, because they did it because they were on a different platform, and they had Krishna
हाँ,
guiding them every point.
if
They
they
did
were
it.
doing
Yeah.
विद कृष्णा गाइडेंस देन इट इज फाइन प्रभु, क्योंकि मुझे
Yes.
ये नहीं पता था कि कृष्णा हैव टोल्ड देम कि
Yes.
देयर विल
Every
बी अ
time.
राइट टाइम।
हाँ,
सो दैट आई
कृष्णा
नेवर न्यू।
was, ये कृष्णा was the one who was guiding them. Don't worry about it. लाक्षागृह हुआ, ये सारी चीजें हुई. Every point कृष्णा was guiding them. Like, you know, don't do this. तुम्हारा भी समय आएगा, and things like that. So self love is extremely important, and I think चुपचाप रह के सहना, चुपचाप रह के सब कुछ सहते रहना, it is not really advisable, you know. And अर्जुन wanted to just कि यार मैं चुपचाप सहूंगा, मैं ना गांडीव छोड़ दूंगा, संन्यास ले लूंगा, लोग मुझे गालियां देंगे, कुछ भी बोलेंगे, बुरा बोलेंगे, कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता मुझे। he was ready to sacrifice. Krishna said no, pick up the bow and fight. So we have to understand that Krishna increased the self love that he had, and then he asked him to fight. So हम लोगों को क्या करना है, सेल्फ लव बहुत इजीली आता है if you increase your prana. You will start love, you will have, your heart will be full of self love if you do pranayam, yoga. If you do that, you do meditation, you will grow, it will go really high. And if you do that on a regular basis, your prana will be high. You won't get disappointed by people. You will accept for who they are a bit more. You will be able to see things differently. If someone is trying to take advantage of you, you will be able to strongly stand and say, you know what, stop it. वरना क्या होता है, डर के मारे बोलते भी नहीं है, चलो दूर दूर हो जाते हैं, बोलेंगे नहीं, है ना। बट when you have high prana, then you are able to do all of those things and still love people. You can डांट भी दोगे फिर भी प्यार करोगे, जैसे हम अपने बच्चों को डांट देते हैं बट प्यार उतना ही करते हैं, वैसे ही you will not be, when you have anger, when you show anger, that anger is not out of hatred, that anger will be out of compassion. And that only happens when you have very very strong self love. I hope that makes sense.
थैंक यू प्रभु जी फॉर शेयरिंग ऑल द नेक्टेरियन पॉइंट। जस्ट एक लास्ट ऐसे ही मन में थॉट आ रहा था, इसका भी कोई शॉर्टकट बताओ ना प्रभु। सेल्फ लव का तो आपने काफी बताया
देखो
कि
मैं आपको बोल रहा हूँ, सेल्फ लव का शॉर्टकट पता है क्या है अपने?
नहीं, सेल्फ लव का नहीं प्रभु।
हाँ,
सेल्फ लव के बारे में तो आपने अच्छे से बताया, इसका कोई शॉर्टकट
फिर
नहीं है। तो चलो प्राणायाम वगैरह करो,
हाँ,
क्रिया करो।
हाँ,
मैं मन में सोची थी ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन अपने ऊपर कैसे आएगा।
हाँ,
इंफॉर्मेशन इंफॉर्मेशन सुनते रहते हैं, वो इंफॉर्मेशन ही बन के रह जाती है प्रभु। वो कॉन्टेम्पलेशन आई थिंक नहीं आ पाता, इसलिए ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन नहीं आ रहा है।
I have a suggestion if you guys are ready to do it. आपको पता है ये सजेशन मैंने कम से कम नहीं तो 1,000 2,000 लोगों को दिया होगा, ठीक है? उसमें से सिर्फ एक पर्सन ने करा है ये। सो जो मैं बताने जा रहा हूँ ना, जो मैं आइडिया बताने जा रहा हूँ, दैट वर्क्स 100% ऑफ द टाइम.
प्लीज शेयर प्रभु जी प्लीज।
You every day For 5 minutes you journal, यू राइट डाउन. मैंने बताया ना, लास्ट टाइम भी बताया था. अभी सोने से पहले 5 मिनट तक सिर्फ लिखते रहो हाउ कृष्णा शोड अप इन योर लाइफ टुडे. आई एम नॉट इवन जोकिंग. The this just one sentence of just asking yourself how did Krishna showed up for me today. I can tell you right now there are 10 incidents that happened today. Krishna showed up for me. है ना, मेरे आगे वाली गाड़ी ने ब्रेक लगाया, मैं वहीं रुक गया. आगे जाके देखा एक बंदे ने ना रेड लाइट क्रॉस करी है मेरे ऐसे. अगर मैं होता तो मेरे टी बोन करता वो मुझे. ठीक है. अनदर पर्सन, अनदर टाइम व्हेन आई वाज इन अ कार पार्क, आई हैड अ फोन कॉल एंड आई हैड टू, क्योंकि लिफ्ट में जाता तो फोन कट जाता, तो आई हैड टू स्टे देयर. एंड आई वाज सो एंग्री, यार मेरे को ये फोन अटेंड करना ही पड़ेगा और मैं जा नहीं सकता. आई कांट लॉग इन टू माई लैपटॉप, नथिंग. एंड गेस व्हाट, because I was on the phone, I was able to, so जैसे ही मैंने फोन रखा, there is this someone that I wanted to meet for a long time. He came and I had to go in a lift with this person. I was able to, pitch my idea to this person, and it was an incredible conversation that I had. Why? Because this random person called me. So Krishna showed up these two times straight away. Then there are more, but I don't want to bore you with this. But I'm telling you, there are, if you start writing that, trust me, all the information will get transformed into transformation just by journaling. It is the most powerful thing that you can do. And you don't have to journal like everything that has happened. Like 3, 4 minutes in a day, man. 3 minutes in a day, 4 minutes in a day, you know. And if you are really scared, journal it, write it down, and usko फाड़ के फेंक दो if you need to. But write, and it will bring all that knowledge, Mataji. And I know that you already have a lot of transformation. What I'm saying is it will exponentially increase the the contemplation, and that will bring a lot of transformation. That is, but I'm telling you, it's not. It's a very simple thing, but I have seen that people have a lot of. Um, it's only one person that I've seen who's done it here in Melbourne. In India and other places, I've said it to a lot of people, and they're doing it, and they've done really well. Um, and I do it, and I think that जो भी growth, थोड़ी बहुत growth मेरे में हुई है, it's only the more main reason goes to that journaling, writing down, हाथ से. टाइपिंग नहीं करना, हाथ से लिखना. It is very transformative. आप try करो, do it for 1 week, and I'm telling you, next time when I'm doing Bhagavatam class, you will tell me, Brijesh Prabhu, thank you very much if you do it.
Okay,
But
Prabhu, sure, I will do it,
but I have
Pakka.
not seen, a lot of people have said that they'll do it, but I have not seen anyone doing it. So let's
Yeah, I
see.
will start, Prabhu. I
आप
will start.
छः, how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 of you are there. देखते हैं कौन कौन
अभी
लिख.
एक रीजन तो यही हो गया, Krishna showed up me today because that's why I have to hear this message from you. So this
And
is one of the thing. But Prabhu, is this the idea is to realize the presence of Krishna? Is this the idea
yes,
behind it
yes, that is the
in
idea. क्योंकि क्या
everything?
होता है? In everything,
Okay.
because what happens is the idea is for us to never forget Krishna and always remember Krishna. अभी क्या हो रहा है? We never remember Krishna, always forget Krishna. ऐसे चल रहा है, उल्टा चल रहा है. इसको स्विच करने के लिए एटलीस्ट 5 minutes वी आर ओनली कॉन्सेंट्रेटिंग ऑन वन थिंग, हाउ ही इज पर्सनली. क्योंकि हमारे लिए सबसे सबसे इंपॉर्टेंट पर्सन इस पूरी दुनिया में कौन है? हम खुद, है ना. तो हमारी हमारी लाइफ में आज कृष्णा ने क्या क्या शो करा, हमारे लिए क्या क्या शो करा, वो अगर हम लिखना शुरू कर देंगे, एनीथिंग दैट वी लुक फॉर विल कीप फाइंडिंग इट. जो हम ढूंढते हैं वो हमें मिलता है, और मिलता ही रहेगा, मिलता ही रहेगा. इट विल कीप इंक्रीजिंग. तो वो जो आपको कृष्णा का जो हाथ अभी 4-5 चीजों में दिख रहा है, वो 10 में दिखेगा, 20 में दिखेगा. एंड देन एवरी मिनट यू विल स्टार्ट थिंकिंग, ओ माय गुडनेस, कृष्णा इज डूइंग सो मच. है ना. ओके. ऋचा माता
प्रभु
जी.
जी, yes.
ऋचा मत सॉरी ऋचा माता जी, मैं ये कहने वाली थी कि आई हैव स्टार्टेड फीलिंग दिस. इट्स नॉट ओनली दैट इट टेल्स यू हाउ कृष्णा शोड अप, इट डेवलप्स योर कॉन्शियसनेस, that you start seeing things and visualizing, and then it enters your life. And also gratitude, you get gratitude with it, that you
यस.
have that feeling that okay, he's there, he's there. जो बात प्रभु कह रहे थे नारायण के लिए, you get that feeling literally he's there. I have
Hmm.
experienced it myself few times ever since Prabhuji said. So every time something miraculous is happening, or even small things like I'm
Nothing, yeah.
about to miss my flight like 3 minutes से, literally 3 minutes से,
हाँ.
and I've
हाँ.
made it. Like मैं एयरपोर्ट जाते हुए सारी ग्रीन लाइट्स मिली है मुझे, like it's Krishna showed up for me, like
Yes, 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 exactly.
so small things. It just you start having that in your consciousness, and then everything you see, it's from different lens.
Beautiful.
So yeah, that's how it has happened for me at least.
Thank you,
Beautiful.
Mataji, for sharing your experience, and it's actually make really wonder when you start doing it. So I will, yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I will start
Please,
from today
Mataji,
itself.
and I want you to share it. I want you to share it with not everyone, at least 1 or 2 person. You share what Krishna, how Krishna has showed up. क्योंकि क्या होगा when you share ना, then it will go. हम लोग कई बार लिखने के बाद हम लोगों को रियलाइज नहीं होता है, but when we share it with someone, देन वी रियलाइज ओ माय गुडनेस, ये छोटी बात नहीं है, क्योंकि सामने वाला कहेगा ओ माय गुडनेस कृष्णा ने ऐसा करा, हम कहेंगे यार इतना छोटी तो चीज थी, इसको क्यों बड़ी लग रही है, ओ यार एक्चुअली ही शी इज राइट, ये तो बहुत बड़ी चीज है. एंड सडनली आई हैव स्पोकन टू लॉट ऑफ यू गाइस इन person, and all of you guys have given me this thing, oh my goodness that's big, and it made me realize, oh no, actually it's more bigger than I thought, and that's how we can help each other. So please share. Okay. All right, we'll stop here. ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय, शिला प्रभुपाद की
Jai.
जय. हरे कृष्णा.
हरे
Hare
कृष्णा
Krishna.
प्रभु.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Hare
हरे
Krishna,
कृष्णा.
Uh,
Prabhuji.
हरे
Thank you
कृष्णा.
so
Brijesh
much
Prabhu, can
for
you
this.
stay
मुझे
back
पूछना था,
one
मुझे
minute?
मिस
Yeah, I can. Yeah. Okay.
प्रभु जी, आई हैव आल्सो ओके प्रभु
Oh,
जी,
please,
मैं
please
ये पूछ
ask.
रही
Yeah.
थी कि
हाँ.
यस प्रभु जी, जैसे कि आज से हम ये हमेशा आई हैव राइटन द ग्रेटिट्यूड, मतलब मैं बहुत टाइम से लिख रही थी पहले भी,
हम्म.
तो लेकिन जैसे कि होता है उसमें हम बहुत पॉजिटिव हो जाते हैं, तो लोग मतलब कि फॉर एग्जाम्पल होम घर में ही कहते हैं कि हम हर चीज को पॉजिटिवली लेते हैं, तो वो भी लोगों को ओवर कॉन्फिडेंस लगता है, मुझे लगता है कि कोई
हाँ.
प्रॉब्लम ही नहीं है भगवान, ऐसे
हाँ.
मतलब
Actually.
खुद में हमें कॉन्फिडेंट है, वी आर कॉन्फिडेंट और वी कैन से वी आर डिपेंडेंट, कि ठीक है आई आई नो आई ट्रूली बिलीव इन ब्लाइंडली बिलीव इन गॉड, मतलब जैसे कृष्णा को हम बात करें तो, लेकिन सामने में फॉर एग्जांपल मेरे हस्बैंड को ही लगता है कि इट्स इज ओवर कॉन्फिडेंट,
ओवर
मतलब हर चीज
कॉन्फिडेंस.
में ज्यादा
हाँ.
हाँ, बहुत ज्यादा पॉजिटिव नहीं होना चाहिए, और इट
मैं
वी
आपको
हैव शुड
बताऊं
टेक
ना,
द प्रिकॉशन. हाँ.
आपको बताऊं, जो 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 लोग बहुत ज्यादा हाईली एलिवेटेड होते हैं ना, उनको हर कोई पागल ही बोलता है. आपने देखा है? आप
हम्म.
न्यूटन को ले लो, डाल्टन को ले लो, आप राइट ब्रदर्स को ले लो, एनीवन हु हैज डन अमेजिंग इन देयर लाइव्स ना, दे वर ऑल
हम्म.
क्रिटिसाइज्ड एंड रिडिक्यूल्ड, और उनको बेवकूफ बोला गया है, उनको मजाक उड़ाया गया है. तो हम लोगों को क्या करना है, हम लोगों को अगर उनको लगता है हमारे में ओवर कॉन्फिडेंस है, तो हम लोग क्या करेंगे, वी शुड नॉट स्पीक दैट इन फ्रंट ऑफ देम, सो दैट वो, हम इसलिए नहीं कि हमें उनसे छुपाना है, इसलिए कि हम नहीं चाहते कि कोई हमारा कॉन्फिडेंस कम करे. तो मैं क्या करता हूँ, अगर मेरे को
हाँ.
बहुत ज़्यादा कॉन्फिडेंस है ना, तो मैं अपने वर्ड्स में उसको एक्सप्रेस नहीं करता हूँ उन लोगों को, स्पेशली उन लोगों को जो नीचे गिराएंगे. जैसे अभी मेरे पास कोई आइडिया आया, और मेरा एक दोस्त है वो हर चीज़ मेरी टांग खींचता है, तो मैं उसको नहीं बताऊंगा वो आइडिया, मैं ऐसे पर्सन को बताऊंगा जो मेरे को एलिवेट करने की कोशिश करेगा, ताकि आई स्टे पॉजिटिव, एंड दैट इज वेरी वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. सो क्या करना है
राइट.
हमें, वी शुड स्टे पॉजिटिव, एंड आपको पता है, स्टे अल्ट्रा पॉजिटिव. अल्ट्रा पॉजिटिव मतलब किसी का भी डर नहीं, जब कृष्णा है साथ में, किसी की से भी डरने की
हाँ
जरूरत नहीं.
प्रभु जी, वही मुझे मुझे
ऐसा
लगता
ही
है कि
होना
पता नहीं
चाहिए.
कि मैं सही कर रही हूँ या गलत.
जिंदगी ऐसी जीनी है, जिंदगी ऐसे ही जीनी है, बाकी सारी
मतलब
चीजें
प्रभु जी, और
भूल
मैंने
जाओ.
ये भी है कि मैंने अभी सुना था किसी की, अगर आपकी लाइफ में प्रॉब्लम नहीं है इसका मतलब कृष्णा की आपके ऊपर नजर नहीं है, मैंने ये कौन सी बात है, हमें तो
नहीं,
हर चीज को पॉजिटिव.
नहीं एक्चुअली व्हेन कृष्णा, देखो प्रॉब्लम्स भक्तों की लाइफ में आती आती है, लेकिन भक्त क्या करते हैं, भक्त को प्रॉब्लम प्रॉब्लम दिखती नहीं है, भक्त को ये लगता है कि
लगती नहीं
नहीं
है,
है,
यही प्रॉब्लम
भगवान
हो
के,
सकता है, प्रॉब्लम होगी,
प्रॉब्लम तो है
हाँ.
ही माता जी, प्रॉब्लम
हम
सबके
लोग
पास
भगवान की मर्जी होती
है.
तो वही प्रभु जी, जैसे कि
बस.
किसी का साथ ही होना, हमें लगता है कि हम उसे एक्सेप्ट ही कर लिए हैं, उसकी
यस.
बैड हैबिट्स को एक्सेप्ट कर लिए हैं, तो
यस.
हमें प्रॉब्लम ही नहीं लग रही है. तो
बस यही
वही
कह रहा
तो
हूँ मैं.
मैं भी कुछ सुन रही
तो
थी, कोई प्रभु जी को ही सुन रही थी, तो
हाँ,
उसमें ये था कि अगर आपकी लाइफ में प्रॉब्लम नहीं है इसका मतलब कृष्णा क्या, मैंने कि
ऐसा नहीं है.
ये कैसे हो रहा है?
नहीं, उनका ये
मतलब
मतलब
मैं
है
तो
कि प्रॉब्लम तो है ही, लेकिन अगर हम लोग उसको, अगर भगवान की शरण में है हम, तो हमें वो प्रॉब्लम मिजरी नहीं देगी, प्रॉब्लम तो है ही। पैर दुख रहा है कोई बात नहीं यार, ठीक है दुख रहा है, हमने एक्सेप्ट कर लिया, आराम से सो गए। अगर पैर दुख रहा है,
हम्म।
कैसे दुख रहा है, कैसे दुख रहा है, परेशान हो गए, लगे हुए हैं पैर में ही लगे हुए हैं, कभी पट्टी बांध रहे हैं, ये बांध रहे हैं, नींद नहीं आएगी पूरी, फिर नींद आएगी नहीं वैसे भी। लेकिन अगर आपने उसको एक्सेप्ट कर लिया, देर इज ए पॉसिबिलिटी कि ना, अच्छा ठीक है एक्सेप्ट कर लिया, ठीक है उस बंदे ने मेरे लिए बुरा कहा, एक्सेप्ट कर लिया, ठीक है। अब एक्सेप्ट कर लिया इसका मतलब ये नहीं है कि हम लोग उसने जो बुरा कहा उसके लिए हम खुश हो रहे हैं, लेकिन हमें उसकी बात चुभ नहीं रही है बस। है
हाँ,
तो उतनी
इग्नोर कर देते हैं
जहरीली है,
उसको।
बात तो उतनी जहरीली है, लेकिन हमें नहीं चुभ रही है क्योंकि हमने कवच पहन रखा है। हम बारिश बहुत हो रही है, लेकिन हमने छाता ले रखा है तो हम गीले नहीं हो रहे हैं। एंड दैट इज
हाँ,
व्हाट।
जैसे प्रभु जी, हाँ यही, जैसे बहुत सारे लोग मुझसे भी मिलते हैं बीइंग योगा टीचर, मतलब लोग बताते, तो मैं हर चीज को पॉजिटिव ले लेती हूँ। मुझे लगता है ये कर लो वो कर लो, भगवान, मैं सब चीज में भगवान ही कुछ
ऐसा
एग्जाम्पल दे
ही
देती
होना
हूँ, तो
चाहिए,
पता नहीं।
ऐसे ही होना चाहिए,
वही
लेकिन एज ए
है।
डिवोटी
और
वी
ऐसा
हैव
कि
टू बी
कोई
स्मार्ट।
पूछता भी है, प्रभु जी, कोई पूछता है क्या चल रहा है, अगर कोई प्रॉब्लम, मुझे लगता है सब ठीक ही है, मतलब क्या ही मैं किसी को डिस्कस ही करना। तो
सवाल
मुझे
ही नहीं
वही
उठता
लगता
है,
है कि वेदर मैं
सवाल ही नहीं उठता।
राइट ट्रैक और रॉन्ग ट्रैक।
अभी नई चीज आई है माता जी, वेयर वी हैव टू, कोई पूछता ना हाउ इज लाइफ, तो लोग कहते हैं ना, यू शुड से एज इट इज, नहीं यार थिंग्स आर नॉट गुड, नो, यू शुड, लाइफ इज ग्रेट,
राइट,
आई
हाँ।
एम स्ट्रगलिंग बट लाइफ इज ग्रेट। you know
यस।
so वो उससे क्या होगा, then what happens is you are looking at life's problem not as a misery, you're looking at life's problem as challenges and you can actually grow with that, है ना। तो आप तो
हम्म।
बिल्कुल ठीक कर रहे हो माता जी,
बढ़िया है।
कीप डूइंग, डोंट वरी। कोई कुछ भी कहे, यू स्टे स्मार्ट, है ना, डोंट ओवर डू इट इन फ्रंट ऑफ पीपल, बट इंटरनली यू ओवर डू इट, नो प्रॉब्लम, इट्स गुड।
या इंटरनली आई शुड नॉट मिस, आई शुड नॉट शो ऑफ मिस, ये मुझे लग, बस इस पे थोड़ा सा
हाँ,
कंट्रोल करना है
आप
कि
अब
लोगों को
नेगेटिव ही
शो
मत
नहीं
दिखाओ अपने
करना है
आप को,
कि हाँ हाँ
नेगेटिव
हाँ वही।
नेगेटिव मत दिखाओ, चुप हो जाओ, चुप हो जाओ। कोई कोई ज्यादा बोले ना कि यार कुछ परेशानी हो रही है, अच्छा हाँ हो सकता है तेरे में हो रही हो, अच्छा अच्छा, एनीथिंग आई कैन डू फॉर यू, ऐसे, बस इतना। और एक
राइट।
और चीज ध्यान रखना है कि वी शुड नॉट टीच पीपल हु आर नॉट टीचेबल, यू नो हु इज नॉट टीचेबल,
यस प्रभु जी, दिस
हमारे
इज
घर
वेरी
वाले,
इंपॉर्टेंट फॉर मी एक्चुअली।
घर वाले आर नॉट टीचेबल, सो डोंट टीच आवर घर वाले, घर वालों के लिए दे समवन एल्स फ्रॉम आउटसाइड शुड टीच देम, वी शुड जस्ट टीच, अगर हमें टीच करना है किसी को, टीच इट टू आउटसाइडर्स जो यू नो।
बस। यस प्रभु जी, पर मुझे लगता है यही एक प्रॉब्लम है कि पर्सनली आई एम शेयरिंग, कि अगर मैं अपने हस्बैंड को सोचती हूँ वो थोड़ी सी पूजा कर ले, थोड़ा सा भगवान के आगे हाथ जोड़ ले, नहीं कर रहे, तो मैं कल ही मैंने भगवान से बोला कि प्लीज भगवान, मैं इनसे बोलूँ ना कभी भी ये पूजा करें। मतलब खुद
नहीं
ही
तो,
उन्हें बुद्धि आए। हाँ।
नहीं नहीं, हाँ आप भगवान से कितना ही प्रार्थना करो बहुत अच्छा है, लेकिन उनको आगे होके मत बोलो कुछ, है ना, उनको आगे होके कुछ
ओके।
मत बोलो, क्योंकि ये हम लोग नहीं ट्रांसफॉर्म कर सकते अपने घर वालों को, भी नीड पीपल
हाँ
फ्रॉम,
राइट।
है ना।
थैंक यू
आ,
प्रभु जी, थैंक यू।
चलो, थैंक यू माता जी, हरे कृष्णा।
प्रभु थोड़ा तो ये है फिर भी,
अरे बस करो यार, आज
जस्ट
इतनी
जस्ट
लंबी क्लास हो
जस्ट
गई।
जस्ट इन ए मिनट, कुछ भी है,
हाँ।
वो पति देव कम से कम इतना तो रखा हुआ है ना उन्होंने, कि वो हमें कुछ करने दे रहे हैं।
हम्म।
ये सबसे बड़ी बात है कि वो हमें तो नहीं उन्होंने बैन किया ना।
हम्म।
तो कई बार तो इसी को यही एक इशू हो जाता है, तो यही
सही बात,
भगवान की कृपा है इसके ऊपर भी।
बिल्कुल सही बोला आपने, बिल्कुल।
और कभी टाइम आएगा कि ही विल ऑल्सो चेंज।
हाँ बिल्कुल
हरे
ठीक है।
कृष्णा।
हरे कृष्णा जी, हरे कृष्णा।
हरे कृष्णा जी।
हरे कृष्णा, थैंक यू माता जी।
Brijesh Prabhu, the one point I wanted to ask you is, can
हाँ
you put a message on our Bhakti Vriksha group for the timing of Saturday?
हाँ।
Because some people were asking and I wasn't sure. Are we starting the class a bit early or Saturday को same 6 o'clock, 6:30 same time पे करनी है?
ना, विल डू अर्ली।
प्रभु क्या टाइम डाल दूं मैं? 5:30?
5 o'clock, 5 o'clock।
5 o'clock? Okay,
हाँ,
Prabhu. That's
है
all
ना।
I wanted to ask. ठीक है प्रभु. Okay.
हरे
Hare
कृष्णा,
Krishna. Thank you, Prabhu, for a
हरे
beautiful
कृष्णा, शिल
class.
प्रभुपाद की जय,
जय
हरे
जय.
कृष्ण।